Hi, everybody. Al Bernstein here with another one of our quick hits, which is a form of our boxing hangouts in which I get to talk to you about the affairs of the day in boxing in a little briefer form than our normal hangouts. And today I want to talk about something that is kind of a new development in the sport of boxing, a new player in the promotional end of the sport, and that is Roc Nation, which will be having its first official boxing card on Friday, January 9th, at Madison Square Garden in a card that will be televised to the United States on Fox Sports 1. Now, this is unique in a number of different ways, but what makes Roc Nation especially different is the gentleman who heads it, and that is this gentleman, Jay-Z, a famous performer and famous rap and rock impresario and businessman who is not new to the world of sports because his company serves as an agent to a number of high-profile athletes, and that's kind of what led him, that and his love for the sport, led him to create a division within his company that would be for boxing promotion, and that is Roc Nation. And what he did when he initially formed the company, that it was very, I think, a very effective move, was to hire a very competent and capable gentleman to run it. And that is David Iskowitz, who was formerly in a high position at Golden Boy Promotions and before that with Lou DiBello Promotions. And David Iskowitz is very good at his craft. He knows all of the ins and outs about promoting boxing and was a very solid choice by Jay-Z to lead this division and lead him into the world of boxing. Now, the card at hand that will be their first promotional effort, I mentioned it'll be at Madison Square Garden, and it will feature Dusty Hernandez-Harrison, who's many believe is a fine prospect in the sport of boxing, taking on Tommy Rainone, who's a tough-minded, gritty fighter in the New York area. And this first card not only, of course, they hope will resonate as a boxing card, but there is also a great feeling by the folks putting this on that they can expand the horizons of how boxing is promoted as a live event, especially to the audience that will be there to see it. People have been down this road before. They have tried to alter the way boxing is presented, to add more pizzazz, add more entertainment, add other elements that will make it interesting. Now, in this case, Jay-Z clearly himself being there adds firepower. There will be musical performances attached to this and many celebrities. They have tried in the past in the world of boxing to try and move the meter ahead in terms of the overall entertainment experience for people that are there for the boxing match. Other sports have done it effectively. For instance, one that is intriguing is the sport of rodeo. The National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas is such an entertaining and fast-paced event that even people that are not fans of the rodeo will go to it and find it to be a very entertaining multimedia kind of event. The same is true for UFC, the mixed martial arts, where the folks at UFC have expanded very much the experience of going in and seeing a UFC card. And Dan Parks, our producer here on the Hangouts, of course, Dan, your expertise is in the area to a great degree of mixed martial arts in the UFC, and they have done a very good job of creating a very entertaining environment that the boxing people have looked at and tried to emulate to some degree.
Absolutely, and I'm really excited about seeing Jay-Z get into the fold here. You know, every time a new player comes in, the sport evolves a little bit, and I think that we're going to start seeing some really fantastic new types of entertainment. Again, the UFC I think is leading everybody right now. They really updated everything with the number of screens that are inside the room. The amount of the music, the whole show, the flair of everything, the promos that you see, the videos before each one of the events inside the arena, they really cater to that crowd, and they've done a great job at it. And I'm thrilled to see Jay-Z come in, and maybe we'll start to see boxing move up that ladder a bit.
Yeah, and I think there has been movement in the sport where if you're in the arena, especially for a major match, in a boxing match, it feels a bit different than it did 10 years ago or 12 years ago. It's supposed to, of course. But I think there's been some movement, and perhaps this will push the sport even farther in terms of that. One of the danger areas and one of the pitfalls is when people think they can change what's happening at the location of the fight by just add-ons. You have to make sure that whatever you do, it enhances what you're seeing in the ring, and that it doesn't completely distract people from it, but enhances the experience. Once, many years ago, Brad Jacobs, who's now with Top Rank, had fight cards in Miami, and what he did was he brought me down and put, again, it was in the Miami arena where the Heat plays, and they had a terrific multi, screen situation, and the video was fantastic, and they had me literally leading into the fights, adding commentary in between rounds. They had features that ran. It was actually a pretty cool experience, and his idea was to make those fans feel some of the things that you feel on television. And I did that for about 7 fights down there, and I thought it was a fascinating experience. And I think all of those things, when they can be done to bring the fan closer to an event, are good. And in this case, the technology, I'm sure, of what Roc Nation will bring to it will also be a big part of it. So Friday at Madison Square Garden, we'll all be watching on Fox Sports 1. I will be. I'm very curious to see how it plays itself out, and the folks at Madison Square Garden will be as well when Roc Nation makes its debut in the boxing promotional wars.